What's going on, people? What is going on? As you already know, this is Tuesday night, which means it is the 6-man convo. I am your host, the debonair 6-man K Styles, and to my left, stage left, as he's going by today as the hell with Goldman, Mad Mike Sports. And we always got started off with those three special words that we always start our shows off with. What are those three special words?
Real roll cow.
And today's roll call, we're going to roll with Joseph Thornton, Tab Sports and Gaming, Alex Edwards, Pat Norris, Bubba Gump, Anthony Wright, got my homie Ray Fitty, ATL Leo, Mactown Mike, Marwin Johnson, aka Family.
Oh.
What's going on? We got belated birthday to the homie Marwin Johnson, and also to birthday to TJ, Feli Sports Home, Unholy Alliance, Gabriel Lombro, Make You Fumble, Miss Maggie T, Dame DiBiase, D Coleman. We got Michael Walker, not that Michael Walker, YMOF Jamal, and Atlanta Nation. Yeah. So we're gonna hit it with in 3, 2, 1. What's going on, people, man? As you already know, we had to start off with the regular intro. Hey, and as we got today's topic is Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley, blessing and disguise for the Falcons. But first, we got a little bit of Atlanta Falcons news to discuss. And I know the main news today is the retirement of Eddie Goldman. Kind of came out of left field. But first, before we get to that news, let's talk about the other news. The Atlanta Falcons have finally signed Desmond Ridder, which makes him the last draft pick the Falcons had to sign. Am I correct on that?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
4 years, $5.4 million with a 1.1 signing bonus.
Yeah, I think so.
Which makes sense because now that we got the training camp coming up, we got the training camp that started today, you want to get these guys locked down before the serious stuff happens. Hey, in this system, for that amount of money, it's a low risk, high reward propositional player. But Mike, what you feel about that? You feel like they went on here and got this done to get his ass in the camp?
Absolutely. As we were saying earlier, yesterday, when it comes down to the quarterback position, it all begins up here. Not here, not down there. It all begins right here. quarterback is all about mental and your mentality and the how you attack these drills, how you represent yourself as a leader. Um,
Mhm.
if you don't have that mentality of being a leader, have that mentality of being the last guy. I refuse to be the last in last place. I refuse to be, one of the first people out of there once, practice is over. I'm still gonna be doing, some extra work. I'm gonna be like Kobe Bryant shooting 1,000, 2,000 shots, after practice. We're talking about after practice. After he's practiced and they got the game plan, Kobe Bryant still out there shooting 1,000 jumpers. You know what I'm saying, from the same spot. That's the type of stuff that you need for your quarterback. That's what you need from your leader. And I think that's one of the main reasons why they want him in there, because they want his mentality, you know, because you never know where your number's going to be called as a quarterback, as a running back, wide receiver, each position, punter. I mean, we went through like 3 punters last year. So every position, your number is going to be called at some point in time. Like even a lot of these free agents that are free agents right now, at some point during the season, their number is going to be called. So you want your player to be ready to go when their number is called. So we need him in camp.
Yeah, so I definitely agree on that. Um, and just to get the whole draft class locked in, would be a definitely big confidence booster, not only for the players itself, but for this coaching staff, because they can finally get that distraction of the money out the way and then just focus on ball. So you just want to take a couple little minutes to acknowledge that. And like you said, congratulations, young man. Go ahead and do the damn thing. You have an opportunity here to be the franchise quarterback, even though most people don't want you to be the franchise quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna say something though. When they showed his little contract signing, he kind of had this little evil ass smirk on his face. I don't know if you noticed that. Kind of had this little evil ass smirk, like I know you
Oh yeah.
motherfuckers don't like me. It,
Oh
it, it
yeah.
was one of those. It was one of those. I know you motherfuckers don't like me type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So now let's get into the other Falcon news. As we've already said, you see it in the title from my sports. To hell with Eddie Goldman. As we already know, Eddie Goldman, after being a Falcon for 13 days, has officially called it quits, which comes as a shocker because we was all excited. We was looking at him to be that nose tackle help, that D tackle help that we've been looking for. Then it just came out of nowhere as him retiring. Now, am I mad? No, it is what it is. It just means that either they're going to make something else happen or they're going to do what I think they're going to do and they're just going to have trust in what they have. I mean, well, like I said, like we said before, man, can't get damn invested in it if the guy felt like he didn't want to play or he didn't have it in him to play no more. We can't get mad at it. This coaching staff don't give a damn. I'm gonna be honest with you, they could care less if he retired or not because their main focus is going to be on the guys that are there and want to give 100% there. Now, Mike, we done heard your rant on this. We see it in your tag tonight. for those that may not have seen it, give me your opinion on it, man.
First of all, gotta clear one thing up. This is business, right? My mindset is in the mindsets of a general manager / owner. This ain't Mike speaking. Okay. And as in business, you're only as good as your work ethic and your word. Okay, let me repeat that. In business, you're only as good as your work ethic and your word. As a businessman, if you come in and say, you know what, for whatever reason, you have to pull out. And I'm a man, I don't like pulling out. Once I'm in that motherfucker, I'm not trying to pull. I'm not trying to pull out. Okay. No pulling out.
I was gonna make a goddamn.
I saw.
I was gonna make a joke.
I'm in that motherfucker. I'm in it. Okay.
He is gonna dive in it. Ooh, I'm about to
it's not bad, Mike. Hey, it's not a show if we gotta get a joke.
But hope she got you about to say you better hope they got that plan B, boy, because they know boy, your ass in it for 18 years.
Hey, you right. Hey. Hey man, look. At the end of the day, man, only as good as your work.
Evasive angles gonna give you a damn call, boy.
Yeah. I apologize.
I like to say, please don't make them motherfucker call your ass. That was a booty talk 12 moment right there in itself. Go ahead, Mike, man. What would you say?
Hey, somebody gotta be.
Hell no.
Hey, what's his name? Somebody gotta be whiffing pipes around this motherfucker. I might well be. Hey, but that's a whole other question.
Please, because I was about to start. I almost said one of the quotes right here on the show, man. We ain't ready yet. We gotta get to the news first.
My bad, y'all. Let's get back on subject.
Hold on, girl. My dick called your called your fishness. All right, Mike, for real.
Okay, we good. All right, back on. We good.
Back on key.
Okay, we back on it. All right. What the hell I was about to say? All right. So, and you only as good as your word and your work ethic when it comes down to as a player and as just an owner. This is business, you know.
Oh Lord.
Man, please,
I stroke it to the east. I stroke it to the west. I stroke it to the woman that I love best. I be stroking. Okay, go ahead, man. She threw the alley-oop up, bro. She threw the alley-oop up.
Nah, that was a good ass alley-oop. They want them Trey Young alley-oops on that boy.
Every time I see somebody say that, I gotta think of the song.
Oh man.
Clear time. Clear cut.
Like, I be stroking, man. I be stroking Mike. All right.
All right, fine, fuck it, man. Good, keep going, man. Keep going. I'm gonna tell everybody shut the hell up, man. We trying to get this shit going.
Oh man. Oh god. All right. So.
Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead, man.
All right. I'm about to turn these damn comments off because y'all wild. Yeah, you're only good as your word, man. Your work ethic and your word. And the main reason why I'm upset is because I think you just gotta be in consideration how it makes a lot of like the people that stood up for you, the people that stood up for you for the job. You know what I'm saying? It's people that believed in you, and you made those people look like idiots. You know what I'm saying? Ryan Pace is already in a position where nobody trusts his word. Okay, and this is one of the reasons why nobody trusts his word. Okay, nobody trusts him because this stuff happens. So this is why I keep telling everybody, say, "Oh, you just mad because you know." No, it's deeper. It's deeper than just that alone. Ryan Pace, the guys, from the Chicago Bears who got fired, they're looking to kind of resurrect their own career. These people spoke up for you, and then in the midst of speaking up for you, you end up retiring right before training camp. Yeah, it was a little bit of consideration as it come down to, him retiring before training camp. But if you knew your heart, I say this all day, if you know your heart wasn't in it 100%, do not sign that contract. Do not. I don't do anything, okay? We don't do anything. If it ain't 100%, I'm not gonna put it out. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna say it. If I really don't, if I really don't feel that way, I'm not gonna put it out. So I think that's the issue. And a lot of players, yeah, they get another chance, but at the same time, it could have been a player that the Falcons, they wanted, and they were signed by someone else, and they end up signing you. That person is no longer there because they believed in you. They believed in you, and then you sign a contract and you're gone and leave the franchise looking like damn fools again. So, like I said, it's for me, I understand that, but it's business first. All that feeling, all that personal issues, whether he depressed or injuries, I don't care nothing about that. You're only as good as your word. All right. You're only as good as your word as a player and a businessman. And a lot of people don't understand football is a business. Your body, all right, for one, your body. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, look at the comment.
I'm trying to ignore it, goddamn. I'm trying to ignore it.
No. D. Coleman said, well, at least he didn't do the Vontae Davis thing and retire at halftime.
I guess so. But like I said, that's it. At the end of the day, it's coward shit is coward shit. We can't put makeup on a fucking pig. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that bitch fine. No, that bitch is still a fucking pig. You know what I'm saying? That's still a damn pig. Try to put makeup on something that's fucked up. At the end of the day, it's fucked up. Like I said, that's what it is. It is what it is. The same thing we were talking about Matt Ryan and Mike Vick. Them motherfuckers didn't give us a Super Bowl. So at the end of the day, both of them failed. Stop trying to put makeup on shit that's just what it is. It screwed up. You did not uphold your end of the bargain. And this is one of the main reasons why, like even Julio Jones, he didn't hold up his end of the bargain and made Arthur Smith look like a damn fool. He believed in Julio. Julio was like, look, if you know that you couldn't give your same effort as being the same Julio, guess what? Don't sign the damn contract. It's stealing, in my opinion. And quite frankly, in the NBA, if you do stuff like this, guess what? The team still got to pay you. The team still got to pay you. So the NFL is just a different league where, you know what I'm saying? They kind of protect themselves for stuff like this. But like I said, at the end of the day, man, I just think, yeah, he did retire before training camp, before he really got deep into it. And that was a little bit of consideration. But at the end of the day, man, you got to do what's right as a businessman first and foremost. Nobody's going to be able to trust you ever again, Eddie Goldman, because of this. Ever. You let down a lot. Like I said, nobody's giving a damn about, these people we got coaches that believed in him. They probably on their last leg. And now they help bring a guy in, and they spoke up for him. Guess what happened to them? now Arthur Smith or Terry Fortunato was like, look, hold up, bro, your boy just ran off with the plug. Like, what the hell going on? Like, why your boy? Now you got to sit there and explain why your homeboy ran off with the plug. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, bro, you got to look at things like that, and that's one of the things that players got to understand too, bro. You got to be
on the plug.
You got to
that ain't at the right.
Mm-hmm.
But we get a couple comments in here, man. Like I said, Alice said, yeah, this isn't the first time a Falcon has retired before training camp.
Yeah, we know that.
Parade Jerry, anybody?
Mm-hmm.
Mara called you Dolomite Mike.
I see.
Dolomite. That go. That would say that's gonna be your name. Dolomite. Dolomite. He did. Hey man, shh. You waking up the bitches. All them girls sleeping in the goddamn bed. Oh man. What did Trey say? I ain't never seen anybody meet riders more than Cam Jordan got it. Man, I'm gonna tell y'all something, bro.
Oh man, you get this.
Them dudes. No, I'm just gonna keep this short and simple. We live rent free in their heads because they worried about everything we do. We don't care about what they do, but they damn sure care about what we do.
Yeah.
Can't call yourself the big brother if you worried about what, quote unquote, the little brother does all the time. And the little brother ain't asking for you. But let's go ahead and hit a little intermission here, man. Let's go ahead. We're gonna do a light check here for a second. So let's go ahead and play a little bit of music. We doing light checks here. We got 60 people in here. So I gotta see at least 40. Let's see if we can get at least 40 in here. But as y'all doing that, y'all make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe to 6-Man K Styles on the 1K side of the game. We are 45 away from that goal. And that's where the journey begins. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to Mad Mike Sports if you haven't already. So we definitely appreciate that. Anybody got one for me?
Ooh.
We got a light check.
37. Well, I see at 37. Hold on.
37. Come on.
40.
Get him.
Right at 40.
Right there at 40. Okay. We right there at 40.
Appreciate.
We definitely appreciate that. And right before we get to the main event, we're going to definitely give y'all a little treat here. If y'all haven't seen it already, we're going to show it again. So, cue it. There's a special interview that's going to be on Friday, 9:30. Y'all be on the lookout for that.
Yes, sir.
So, definitely appreciate y'all doing that. So, let's go ahead and get into the main event tonight. And this is the question that I have for everybody. Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley. As we know about these two were very instrumental as far as where this team direction wanted to go. But the more that I thought about it, as much as they was a blessing as being playmakers for this team, I believe that it was a curse as well. That it was a good thing and it was a bad thing at the same time. They are probably wondering, like, why the hell are you saying that this was a bad thing? Well, let's concentrate on what good they did first. As we know, with Julio Jones, Thomas Dimitrov pulled a gamble of all gambles to pull that trade off to get Julio. At the time, we still had Roddy White. They didn't know how long Roddy White was going to last. So the Julio Jones was kind of like that can't miss prospect wide receiver that they had to have. Tremendous numbers. Tremendous wide receiver, gifted, 6'3", 225, fast as hell, strong as hell, could run every route on the tree. Instrumental, not only for the Atlanta Falcons, not only for Matt Ryan, but the Atlanta Falcons franchise in its totality. Calvin Ridley. Young receiver. Route runner. You wanted to add more weapons to the offense. Smooth. He's smooth as hell on the field. He's smooth as hell moonwalking on the field too. But we ain't going to concentrate on that.
Smooth operator.
He's a smooth operator. Smooth operator. Smooth operator. But as we already know what ended up happening, Julio couldn't get in the end zone and Calvin Ridley wasn't worth a damn within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. But this is not why I say that this was a curse. I want to get your thought on this process here. The reason why I say that they were curses, I want to get everybody's opinion on this, is because these were the two instrumental draft picks that changed the mentality and philosophies of this whole franchise. What I mean by that, the first 5 from 2008, 2012, the Atlanta Falcons were a run balanced offense in which they relied heavily on Michael Turner, play action, Tony Gonzalez, Roddy White. This is what the offense pertained of. You bring in Julio Jones to essentially be that number 2 to add another little bit more firepower. They go to the playoffs in 2012, but the whole philosophy of the offense changed after that year. It went from run balance to let's throw the ball 70% of the time. Which kind of led to a period of inconsistencies for this Atlanta Falcon offense. And I'm not just specifying just on Matt Ryan itself. I'm talking about as the offense as a collective. Because if you remember, right around that time, we started seeing Steven Jackson running the ball, Devontae Freeman running the ball, Tevin Coleman running the ball, when they were just getting into their own. You brought in Steven Jackson. He couldn't run the ball worth a damn. he was over the hill. He ain't got too many hits. Then we move into 2015, 2016 with Kyle Shanahan in the mix, who brings that run, balance, play action offense. As we already know, this is what Matt Ryan's specialty is the play action, manage play action, work off the tight end. This is what gave the Atlanta Falcons the success that they had from 2008 on to this point. And Noah said 2017, we passed the ball 100 times more than we ran the ball. Now, when Kyle Shanahan came in here, like I said, we went back to a balanced offense. We were running the ball. The Atlanta Falcons was top 5 in rushing. You get to work that play action game. This is where you have a Julio Jones, Mohamed Sanu, Taylor Gabriel, Austin Hooper, Jacob Tamme, Devontae Freeman, Tevin Coleman, everybody working and gelling together. So you have this dynamic of balance. And this is where these 2 playoff appearances was coming, because you had balance on offense. Now, after 2017, Calvin Ridley comes into the picture now. Ooh. What happened there? We went from that run balance offense. Now we throwing the ball 73% of the time of the game, 73% of the time now. Notice that 2018, we threw the ball, we had 300 more passing attempts than rushing attempts. So do y'all see where I'm going? Mike, do you see where I'm going with this?
Absolutely.
It seemed like when you already have a dynamic receiver and they tried to have this ability to bring in another dynamic receiver, it goes away from the philosophy and the formula that has worked for the Atlanta Falcons, which is balance, play action, running the ball.
Uh-huh.
So I'm gonna ask the people watching here in the chat or watching, do y'all see are you feeling where I'm coming from with this? Do y'all feel where I'm coming from with this? Go ahead, Mike.
Well, I think the kind of couple what you said, I'm gonna kind of switch it just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Kind of bring it back. Do you think?
Back to the bottom of them. I'll bring it back. All right. When you look at the Falcons, one of the things as a organization that kind of gets you in trouble, and I'm gonna take this to a biblical even standpoint, whether it's you Christian or Muslim, don't matter. When you start, dabbling in, the idolatry, when you start talking about idolizing players, looking at that one player as if he's a god, that's kind of what the Falcons do. We looked at Julio Jones and we looked at Matt Ryan, and we said they're gods. They can't be stopped. They're not gods. You need players around them. You need people around them to help them get to where they want. Do you think Muhammad Ali would have been what he was if it wasn't for the great Angelo Dundee? Do you think Mike Tyson would be Mike Tyson if it wasn't for Cus D'Amato? Do you think Sugar Ray Leonard would have been that without Angelo Dundee? Kind of see where I'm going with this?
Mm-hmm. Hold on, let me
And
address let me address something right quick. Hey, Alex, I appreciate you, man. But but like you said, I never said it was Ridley or Julio's fault. This is what Mike is talking about as far
yeah,
as the
this is
idolizing of the player. Like you
idolizing
said,
players,
like
worshiping
it's
players.
like let me use this analogy. It's like it's like getting a brand new. It's like getting that brand new Corvette.
Mm-hmm.
You want to floss that shit all around town.
Yep.
But while you flossing that new Corvette around, you got motherfuckers sitting on the sideline ready to ready to do some goon shit to you because you keep showing off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Is it the car? Is it the car's fault that you're getting the unnecessary attention? No, it's your fault. As the guy that's running, that's the yo guy running it, and like you said, this is what I was saying. This is where the blame comes into the organization in itself, the coaches, the GMs, the player personnel. You got these exotic toys. Oh, I'm gonna do it like this better this way. You got your wife. No, she ain't the baddest chick on the planet, but she's good to you. But you got this Instagram perfect body built female giving you attention.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're giving her more attention than your own woman or wife or girlfriend that may not look like her because she's the brand new shiny toy. She gets your rocks off. She gets your rocks off quicker because she looks good. Is it her fault that your horny ass can't control yourself? No.
Right.
Is it your wife or girlfriend's fault because you're penalizing her because of the way she looks compared to that chick? No. Essentially, it's your fault as the catalyst of that whole situation.
You look at the things that really mattered. All you was focused on getting your rocks off, trying to please, yourself. So that's what we're talking about. We were just trying to, we was caught up in, Matt Ryan is the greatest. Julio is the greatest. We got the greatest. We've had some of the greatest offenses of all time. We literally had some of the greatest offenses going, like I said, going back to the 98 team. That's one of the greatest rushing teams that ever played, ever had. And then you couple that with the great Mike Vick. That's probably one of the greatest offenses the greatest rushing offenses that you've ever seen in modern football era. Nothing that has gotten close as a DVD, Dunn, Vick, and Duckett. That shit was exciting. You knew every game that they was gonna run the ball down your damn throat. It wasn't shit you can do. We talking about some of the best defenses, always to the Ravens, to the Chicago Bears. They still rushed for 150 yards. Now they didn't pass worth a damn, but they got them 150 yards rushing every game, plus some every game, and that was an average for that team. So this is the thing that we're talking about. You start idolizing players and idolizing, situations instead of look, what if we can't run the ball? What if Matt Ryan can't win every game for us? What if Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley having, 150 yards apiece, 3 touchdowns apiece, a game isn't enough? They never thought about that type of stuff. They got into idolizing these players, and and like I said, it's an ego trip. That's the same thing I say with the same thing that happened to Mike Vick. He knew that he was Mike Vick. I ain't got what the fuck I got to change for. Shit, I'm great. What I need to change for? We the Falcons. All we need is another wide receiver. He can win another 13 games. Let's draft another wide receiver. Let's draft another tight end. Let's draft another running back, a small running back in the third round, so we can keep on passing and keep that same philosophy. They didn't want to change that philosophy. And that philosophy doesn't win championships. So that's the issue at hand. The Falcons got way too big for their own britches. They believe in their own hype, and they end up being Mike Tyson in Tokyo, going against Buster Douglas. They instead of that, they knocked their own damn self out. They ain't need to knock us out. We did that ourselves because we didn't build the team the proper way. We didn't build the defense the proper way. We didn't even have a veteran. We started getting rid of the vets. That's what this is the whole reason why we was talking about, what went wrong with Matt Ryan in the Mike Vick era. Why didn't we capture that championship when we had some of the greatest players to ever lace it up? Because they start believing in their own hype. You start believing in your own hype and not understanding, like, hey man, we need a goon to protect Matt Ryan on the offensive side of the ball. You notice everywhere Tom Brady go, well, who that goon that he always bring with him?
Gronkowski.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Gotta have that goon everywhere you go. In order to protect greatness, you gotta have that goon wherever you go. You cannot do anything without a goon. I'm telling you right now. And believe AFN got plenty of goons. We got plenty of them. I believe that.
We got some snipers. Y'all ain't gonna know they coming, but they coming. But yeah, that's essentially what we're saying, though. Like I said, it's you fall in love with the new toy, you're gonna end up playing with that new toy a little too much, and that shit can break on you.
Mm-hmm.
And now, not only have you lost value with that toy, the toys you had before, they ain't gonna have no value to you because you don't play with them no more.
And Noah's he's one of our professional goons, so believe that. Mm-hmm. He's our pro goon. Mm-hmm. He do it with a smile on his face with glasses on.
Mm-hmm. Now, why do we say this? Now, why has this been a point of reference on why we're talking about this? Look at how the Atlanta Falcons for the 2022 season, look how this team is being constructed as we speak now. Look at it. It's the complete opposite of what we've been seeing when it comes to Julio and Calvin Ridley. You don't yes, you have Kyle Pitts, and Kyle Pitts is that shiny toy. But what you're essentially doing is you're building a foundation where you're trying to have that balance. This is where, and we're just talking about on the offensive side of the ball.
Right.
If you looked at the Falcons last year, I'm gonna use the Falcons last year for example. Me and Mike did a whole lot of recapping on a lot of plays last year. The biggest difference with this offense is you're just going to have a quarterback that can move around faster. Because they ran a lot of RPOs last year, and nobody picked up on it.
Yep.
A lot of people didn't pick up on it. They ran a lot of RPOs.
I said that This is why you need to come in our spaces. I talked about this. The Falcons are running a lot of RPOs. Nobody caught that. Why? Because Arthur Smith, being the genius that he is, he masked it with a pocket quarterback, which is essentially the West Coast offense. That's what the RPO, and this is why I keep telling people the RPO is essentially the West Coast offense. That's it. The only difference is the quarterback is in the shotgun.
Mm-hmm. Every offense is like schemes don't change; they evolve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The air raid offense ain't nothing more than a running gun.
Yeah.
Kansas City runs an air raid offense. That's the running gun.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
As Atlanta Falcons fans, we, like I said, the Falcons have had a history of the running gun with Julio Jones.
Yeah, for years.
You've seen it.
Falcons have been ahead of their time for at least 40 years. And that's why I get so upset with the NFL is because y'all penalized us in the 80s and the early 90s for being flashy and like Jerry Glanville, he was too flashy, he's too brash and in your face. The Falcons been doing this.
Right.
That's one of the main reasons why they hate us. We were doing this in the 80s. You, like I said, you don't have to believe anything I said. You can go look it up for yourself, and you will see that every style of defense that we're seeing right now, from the 4-6 defense, the 3-4s, it started with the grits blitz. This ain't nothing new, bro. It's nothing new.
AKA, we gonna bring more than you can goddamn protect defense. That's what.
Yes. That's what it is.
The Jesus help me defense. That's what that is. Because every time they saw the grits blitz, the quarterback like, Jesus help me today. These motherfuckers is coming.
Right.
But yeah, if you see the way that they're building the offense for this upcoming season, for this team, what this regime want to do, this is why you don't see a lot of the flashy names on offense that a lot of people want to see. It's not about having the flashiest players. It's not about having the super all-pro at every damn position on the damn field. And I also reference Jew Talk Sports on this. And he said it on his last, what's the word? On the last, what's the word, Dirty Bird? He said, the way that the NFL salary cap is set up, you cannot have all pros at every single position.
Yes, sir. It's hard to have three of them on the offense and the defensive side of the ball. It's difficult. That's hard as hell.
This is why player development, this is why depth is so important. This is what the culture that Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot wants to bring in Atlanta. And Noah said, if you
his own work, he's been doing his own work, I see.
Be there to swat the pass away. Yeah. Yeah, Claude Humphrey, old big oak tree looking ass.
That's a lot of stuff started.
That shit didn't. That Gris Bliss didn't help him it was dangerous, but boy, the screen pass and the running back swing passes destroyed that defense.
Yeah.
You get the ball out quick, that defense was no good. But yeah, getting back to that point, this is why they're building the team the way they do. The Falcons want to get back to balance. There's a reason why they changed the logo from Rise Up to Dirty Birds. That's what the Dirty Birds is all about. It's all about running the football. It's all about play action. It's all about managing the game. This is what the Falcons have to get back to. This is the only success this team has had.
Every time we win, we run the ball well. We one of the better running run defense and running offenses every time.
This is one of the major reasons why this franchise since 1966 have 14 playoff appearances. Since 1966.
14. Try to get crazy.
Let me see. Hold on. Billy Mills said, this is far-fetched, but what if all them all-pros take a pay cut? Can it still work? No. Market goes up every year. Market goes up every year. You can't take, the players are not going to take that many pay cuts because motherfuckers need to be getting paid out here.
Yeah. As it's impossible for everybody to take a pay cut because one thing too, that started a bad precedent, and then you got to redesign the contract situation because guys started to find loopholes, and that's what the NFL will never allow players to take pay cuts. And one and two, players will never take a pay cut because at the end of the day, they still have agents and they have managers they have to pay, and a lot of them, depending on where you go, they get half of about 20 to 30%, from 20 to about 50% of that contract. It's gone because they got to pay everybody. So if you get a $100 million contract, in actuality, you're getting somewhere between $50 to $70 million. 30 of that going into the agents and paying the people, who work for you. So that's why you got guys like Richard Sherman who don't want to, their own representative.
Mm-hmm.
So they can bypass all of that. Football is a lot deeper than this. Is why it's like a lot of these people ain't dumb. Like, look, this is why one of the main reasons why I kept saying this is a business. A business first. All these moves are all about business. It ain't personal. Exactly. Players make it personal, and sometimes, a lot of times, and like I said, I'm guilty even for thinking like that myself. Organizations keep it business, but players can't, and fans, like I said, I got in my feelings when I see certain players being cut. Oh man, why they cut Abraham? Well, Abraham had a concussion issue. He had major concussion issues. He's still suffering for today. We talk to him all the time. Miss Maggie talked to him all the time. He's struggling from this. Chris Chandler, another guy, struggling because of this. So a lot of these things that the organization is doing is not always personal. Players can't separate personal issues and business. You can't keep a guy like Abraham on your team if he has these concussion issues. And that's, like I said, it's hard to deal with that. It's hard to comprehend that from a fan and a player standpoint. But this is a lot of time, not all the time. You got some shitty organizations like the Washington team. I don't want to call them fucking Commanders. The Washington team, they do some low down stuff, but like for the most part, a lot of these moves and getting rid of these players, we just saw it with the Patriots. They got rid of the greatest quarterback of all time. They didn't think twice about it. They got rid of him like it was nothing. Business.
Mm-hmm. And Fred Butt says here, running the ball doesn't always win championships. Balance wins championships.
Yeah.
But you still have to run the ball well.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't always win, but you still got to be able to run the ball. This is why Cincinnati lost the Super Bowl last year.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They stopped running the ball. Once they stopped running the ball, LA made the comeback.
They became the Falcons. They essentially became the Falcons. They replicated. When I was watching it, I was looking at the same team. I was watching the Atlanta Falcons. When I was seeing Cincinnati, they made the exact same mistakes. They started binding to their own hype that Jamar Chase was in Burrow was the dynamic duo, and they was unstoppable. And they started giving the ball to Mixon, and that defensive line just took over from there.
Mm-hmm. They tried to make, like you said, they tried to make Burrow and Jamar Chase the heroes of the Super Bowl. Where your motherfucking hero was in your backfield. All you had to do was give him the ball some more.
Right.
Doesn't that sound familiar?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Does 28-3 sound familiar? Where the Falcons ran the ball 9 times in the second half? Exactly. So you got to run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
You got to run the ball. Because even though the Rams didn't run the ball effectively as you would want them to, they still ran the ball. They had the balance.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a few more minutes, man. I want to speak on something right quick. Mike.
Mm-hmm.
As y'all already know, I said this before. We always kind of look at stuff as far as pertaining to what last year and what can be improved on this year. Mike, do you remember the footage that we was watching pertaining to Jalen Mayfield?
Yes.
I picked up on a couple things on Jalen Mayfield. And the problem is he ain't as bad as everybody says he is.
Mm-hmm.
His one problem that he has that I saw last year was against guys that can get the jump on him real quick.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he goes back to those tackle instincts.
Yep.
This is why y'all saw Jalen Mayfield getting beat last year. Because when somebody get a jump on him, he turns into a tackle real quick.
Mm-hmm. Which is he tries to attack he
tries to attack the defensive lineman instead of letting the defensive lineman get to him. Mm-hmm. And this is where you saw a lot of Jalen Mayfield getting beat.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because if you're getting caught reaching, you ain't got no balance. And anybody know anything about Tai Chi and Wing Chun and all that stuff?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's all about using your opponent's momentum. So as an offensive lineman, if I see an offensive lineman trying to reach to me,
just
bam,
done.
So his major issue can be fixed. I don't know why people think that it can't be fixed. It can be fixed.
Yeah.
His thing is he has to develop the patience to play guard. You got to have a certain level of patience.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in the running game, you can attack the defensive lineman if you're in the running game. But we're talking about in past situations.
Mm-hmm.
This is where we're talking about with him in the past situation. So, as we say with Mayfield, he's going to get another shot this year. So he has to make the most of his opportunities, because if he doesn't, then we'll be looking for another guard. But I believe that if Jalen Mayfield can get that patience and the patience is going to help his technique, because he's not going to get caught reaching if he's patient at guard. So he is a strong bully motherfucker. That's what he does.
He is.
But his only issue is he rely on tackle instincts playing the guard position.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody tells you that Jalen Mayfield is going to replicate last season as being quote unquote the worst guard in the league, tell him to pay attention. Don't look at just the plays that he's giving sacks up on. Look at all the plays. This is what PFF tries to do, but they don't do well. Bang. That was a shot at them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Anything else you picked up on that film study, Mike?
Yeah, and it kind of go into the question from Millie Mills about Caleb McGarry. It's the same issue, and this is why you have to have balance. When you got guys, offensive linemen, even starting from Pee Wee, they're trained to go forward. Very seldom do you have coaches teaching you how to pass protect. They're teaching you how to be physical. They're teaching you, how to stand, the proper stance. But for the most part, all the way from Pee Wee, you're learning how to run block. So pass blocking is an unnatural. It's an unnatural movement. All right, moving backwards. Your body isn't designed to move backwards. So you have to have the proper technique in order to run backwards, and use your strength, use your lower body strength and your upper body strength and coordination, and timing. All of that goes into it. So, like I said, I keep telling people all the time, pass protection is an unnatural movement. You're not supposed to move. So if you're going forward more than you're going backwards in a game, chances are you're going to be a lot better. And this is where balance comes in the hand. This is why you want to run the ball 25 times and pass the ball 25 to 30 times a game. You never want to have a balance where you're passing at least 15 to 20 more times than you're running the ball. You always want to have that balance, because sometimes you get somewhere in between 60 to 70 plays a game. Offense, each team get about 140 snaps and about 70 snaps, depending on how the game goes. You get about each team get about 70 snaps. So it's about 25, 35, somewhere in there when it comes down to the plays. So if you can prevent anything getting anywhere near 40 attempts in a game, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be close in that. 9 times out of 10, if you're running the ball 25 times and passing the ball 35 times, you're in the game and you're going to have an opportunity to win the game. That's what the Falcons have had issues with. Balance. Gotta have balance. And Caleb McGarry is no different from Matt Hennessy. Matt Hennessy is no different from Mayfield. All those guys are dealing with the same issue, not having a balanced offense. And this is why you got to have a running game. And right now we have several extensions of the run game, which is a quarterback, a wide receiver with those short passing games, the tight ends with the short passing game, and you got guys like Cordero who can do multiple things. So now it's an extension of the the run game, which is the West Coast offense, and he learned from guys like Mike Mularkey, Kyle Shanahan, and the guy who's in Green Bay right now. I always forget his name, but he's the head coach right now. He learned from those guys. That's all the West Coast offense is the extension of the run game. They try to get it out quick, use their athleticism, use them yak yards, use your ability to run the ball. They never want to get in the game. They never want to get in a game and pass the ball 40 times. Everybody always notice. You look at Kyle Shanahan offense, you rarely see them pass the ball 50 times or even 40 times in the game. When they pass the ball 40 times in the game, more than likely they lose it.
Because you're putting your offensive linemen in a position where they unnaturally are going backwards. Now, a lot of teams have this. I'm looking at a lot of these ratios and stuff like that. Like, it works. Like I said, like even Tampa had the most lopsided run pass ratio. But the difference with their passing game is when you're throwing quick passes, quick outs, 5-10 yards, that's essentially an extension of the running game. See, the problem with the Falcons last year was your wide receivers couldn't get off the line of scrimmage. So you're essentially putting more pressure on your offensive line and your quarterback to try to make something happen. This is why you got a Drake London. This is why you got Brian Edwards. This is why you got Alton Tate. This is why you got these bigger receivers. You want to take away that possibility of your wide receivers getting jammed at the line of scrimmage to where now the quarterback has to hold the ball another second or two to wait for your ass to get open. So I just wanted to have a little discussion on that because I thought it was very interesting from what we saw, and we probably and I was about to say if the NFL wasn't copyrighting motherfuckers using their damn game footage,
we were actually do. Yeah,
we actually would show you. We actually would show you. When we first started, we was able to do it. Now you can't do it no more. Oh Lord, this is a couple times. Night Rider. Shout out to Night Rider, man. He said, which is why Matt was looking at the lights last year.
Right. Hey, you can't get sacked if you're handing the ball off. All right, that's the simple.
That motherfucker had Kanye West play. That boy had Kanye West playing in his damn head, in his damn headset. He was like flashing lights, flashing lights. There definitely was no church in a while for Matt Ryan last year, but I tell you that much. But I'm about to say, let's go ahead and start winding it down for the night. So we definitely appreciate everybody tuning in to the 6-man convo, and which I will say is make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. Share this with your friends that may not be watching this show and may not be subscribers of the show. Hell, motherfucker that might not even know who the hell we is over here.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, we're here to have the conversation. This is why it's the convo. We're here to have the conversation. We're here to talk shit, crack jokes, but at the same time, get a common understanding on what the hell it is to be a Falcon fan and what's wrong with this team. If y'all hadn't checked out the Cooler Talk Monday on Mad Mike's channel, y'all go ahead and recap that. This is definitely the reason why we have these conversations, because at the end of the day, we ain't for everybody and we don't give a fuck. That's what.
But this is really as we can possibly get.
So, wait a minute, I did all that wrong. Let me do it right one more time. Let me do it right for the people. See, it doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound right without the music. You see that? So y'all go ahead. Y'all make sure to subscribe to 6 Man K Styles, man. We are almost to the 1K side of the game.
45.
I got 45, and I got something for y'all. I got something brewing for that 1,000 show. So we're gonna continue to get that. The goal is to get the 1K before the preseason start.
Yeah.
But at the latest, the season start. So y'all make sure y'all tune in tomorrow. Heavy hitters, maybe. What's the word, Dirty Bird? You'll never know until you know. So for all my beautiful people out there, for all the beautiful people tuning in, y'all make sure y'all live life every day. Y'all make sure y'all show appreciation to all your peoples, because your peoples might not be here the next day. So until next time, we ain't here to play.
Oh no.
We here to stay.
Ooh, yeah.
You ain't gotta go home.
But you got to get the hell out of here, brother.
And also, ain't Tyrone and Vlad coming up real soon as well?
Oh yeah.
So y'all make sure y'all be on the lookout for that, as well as our peoples. You can call on Tyrone and the homie Vlad. Got something cooking up in the kitchen real soon, as well as Noah and Trey. So we always busy, baby. So, as Mike said, y'all can get the hell up out of here. We always say it like this. If you don't like that, we got some special words for you from my main man, Jimmy.
And if you two don't like it, you can just pass the blunt to the nigga on your left.
With a soundtrack. Deuces.